All right, she's coming in. Here we go. Oh, let me tilt the wheel. I gotta make sure it's not in gear. Don't stop pushing it. Take to the side, push to the side, just in case. Is the chop behind that wheel good? Okay. It's in neutral. Coming in. Let me tilt. Come down. What happened? Where? Under the car? All right, ready? Going? No. No, you're running. Watch out. That's all right. It's okay. Get the chop. I'm going to turn the wheel to the left. Everyone's excited. All the dogs are barking.
I know.
They can't wait for the 55 to get going here. Let me move this. It's getting in. It's getting in. Watch this thing move. Ready? Here we go. Hey, this is Phil from Race City Retro, and this is my new 55 Chevy project car. I picked this car up very recently, and I'd like to do a walk around with you right now to just show you just how deep I got into it. Actually, it's not too bad. I purchased this car from an 82-year-old man. Look at that inspection sticker. The last time it was on the road was 1971. He bought the car from a friend of his who had owned it back then in the 80s. His son came home one day and said, "Dad, I want a 55 Chevy." So he knew his friend had this car that he was looking to sell. So he grabbed it for his son and they started a father-son project. The reason the son wanted a 55 Chevy is because his auto shop teacher had one. So they get the car home. It's got the rebuilt engine in it. It's got a new clutch. The 4-speed was gone through in it. It's got a Muncie 4-speed. They start working on it. They start gathering parts on the car. They start sanding it down and priming it, getting it ready for a little repaint, I'm guessing. They took the interior out of it. Then the kid comes home one day and says, Dad, good news. My auto shop teacher wants to sell his 55 Chevy. So the dad cuts a deal with the auto shop teacher, buys his finished 55 Chevy for the son. Dad says, I'll take this project. And in 1987, he parks it in the corner of his shop and never looks at it again. Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, months turn into years, and the car just sits and sits and sits. He had a bunch of other Chevy cars. This one wasn't too important to him. He figured, one day I'll build something cool out of that 55. And it sits till 2025, and that's where I come in. I purchased it from the now 82-year-old dad. So the project never got off the ground. And the reason I like the car, I'm going to show you why I bought it. Let's take a look inside. Whoa, look at those solid floors. I don't like doing floor pans. I've done a bunch of them. I'll do them if I have to, but I'd rather not. Look at the dash, all original. And you know what's neat? How this car's got a soul, because look at the heater box. Somebody chromed it at one time. Must have been like an old hot rod or something. It had gauges in it, had a tack on it. I really didn't do much to it. I just dragged the car home and I put it in my garage, and now I'm going to start to break it all down and go through it all with you guys. It's going to be a pretty simple build. I don't build any high-end 10-year projects, nothing like that. This car's going to be a street car. It's going to have a 60s/70s type vibe. Yes, I'm going to cut the wheel wells. I don't like 55 Chevy wheel wells. I've owned about 30 of these cars. They're way too small to put a decent tire under. So we'll get radiused wheel wells, which I'll show you how that gets done. And it's more than likely going to be a simple Blitz black paint job with some flames. Yes, flames. Under the hood sits a 327 4-barrel that they completely rebuilt. It had a carb. This was a running, driving car. I took the carb off it because it was leaking gas and because my garage has a gas hot water heater. So you don't want to have any gas fumes in your garage with a gas hot water heater. That could lead to some really bad things happening. But I'm going to pull the intake off this engine. I'm going to put an aluminum intake I have on it. I'm going to put some MT valve covers on it. I'm going to rewire this whole car from headlight to taillight. All this stuff will be shown on our channel, the Race City Retro YouTube channel. So if you're building a similar car and you want to learn things, I've been doing this over 40 years now. I've done it a bunch of times, and I don't do hacks. I don't do shortcuts. I do things the right way, but not the ridiculous way. We'll be putting a simple wiring harness in this car, and I'll teach you guys how to do it, just how easy it is. A lot of guys say, man, I can't wire. No, you can wire. It's pretty simple. All right, so there it is. It's got some old headers on it. We're going to change those out too. I have a power steering box for the car. I will put power steering in it just to make it a little easier to drive. And I got some neat new suspension. I'll do an unboxing on this stuff from Speedway. Speedway upper and lower tubular control arms and a sway bar just to give it a little better handling, make it a little safer. I also have a disc brake conversion I'm going to put on it. All cheap parts, nothing crazy. Check out the pinstripe too. Ain't that cool? When you see things like that, you know a car's been around the block. That's kind of neat. It's got it on the doors. It's got it on the roof. Pretty cool. Body's not that bad on this car. It does need the rocker on this side, but he gave me a new one. So I'll just put that in. I'm going to show you guys how that gets done on the Tri-5s. In the back, it's got the typical drainage hole clog here, but I got a new one of those too. So that's going to get fixed when I do the radius wheel well. The trunk floor in this car is super, super solid. I can't show you because it's filled with brand new parts I bought for this car. Had the battery in the trunk. You can see the old jacking instructions sticker there. Kind of a weird, he took the factory thing and mounted it in the trunk and ran the cables. Kind of strange how they did that, but real solid car. It'll be neat when you see me tearing it apart. But my plan for this channel is to start with this car and go through as much as we can go through together. You can see I don't have $1 million shop here. I have some simple tools, maybe above average type stuff. And we'll go through the garage one day and I'll show you the things that I use just to get work done on these cars. But you'll dig it. Be sure to like us and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications on our new videos because we're new here, so we're just starting out. We're a t-shirt company out of Mooresville, North Carolina. We sell hot rod t-shirts on our website, racecityretro.com. And that's the main thing that we do. But we walk the walk, we talk the talk. We've been building hot rods for years. And you'll dig the stuff that we build. If you want to like us and subscribe to us, you'll see a lot of videos upcoming on this car. I want to give you a tip here based upon my 40 years plus of buying Tri-5 Chevys to keep you from getting burned buying one of these cars. These cars only have one VIN tag on them. This car is a post, so the VIN tag is on the post. If this car was a hardtop, the VIN tag would be on the cowl down here. There's another tag under the hood on the top upper cowl, but that's not a VIN tag. That's a body tag. That just basically tells you what colors this car came originally from the factory. One more very important, actually I should say two more very important things about the VIN tag. When Chevrolet put these VIN tags on these cars, they spot welded them to the car. If you have a car with a VIN tag with pop rivets in it, that means the VIN tag has been removed and either a VIN tag from another car is put back on it or the original VIN tag's been put back on it. But I don't know, name me one reason in the comments down there why you would take a VIN tag off a car. And guys say, oh, I sandblasted it. You could put a piece of duct tape over that to protect it while you sandblasting it. There's really no reason to take it off a car. So if you see pop rivets, more than likely that car's been tagged over the years, which in the 60s when these cars were cheap, that was common. Guys would wreck one and take it to the junkyard. The junkie would sell you a tag and a title. They'd put it on another one. So be careful, and always, always, always ask the person to see the DMV paperwork, the title, or whatever your state uses. Make sure the VIN number matches what's on your title. Don't buy a car, get it home, and then notice, oh man, that VIN's not the VIN that's on this title. That's another common error on these cars that you see. I had one looked at a 55 once. Guy pulls out the title. I go to check the title against the VIN tag. The number's totally different. He goes, what? I've owned this car for 20 years. Turns out when he bought it, the guy also had a parts car. He gave him the parts car title and junked the other car with his title, the parts car. So see, this man owned this car 20 years with the wrong title. We got it straightened out. We got DMV involved. The car got titled correctly. But don't spend a lot of money on a car and then get burned if you can't register and insure it in your state. So always make sure with a Tri-5 that it's got the spot wells there and a spot well there, no rivets. And if it's a post car, 55, 56, 57, meaning it's got the post, not a hard top, that's where your VIN tag should be. If it's missing, guess what? Your car has no VIN tag on it. If it doesn't say Chevrolet, if it says serial number or anything weird, it means it's been altered. Make sure you get your car with the original VIN tag on it. Make sure your title matches your VIN tag so you don't get burned. If it's a hard top, no post, your VIN tag will be down here in this area, right on the cowl. So you won't see it up here on a hard top, you'll see it down here. Okay, be careful out there, guys. There's a lot of guys that, well, I don't want to say they're trying to screw you, but they may have gotten screwed and they're just trying to pass it on to you. So just be careful before you spend money, especially a lot of money. I've seen a lot of high-end cars that have VIN tag issues. So spend the extra money, get a nice one, keep looking. Even if it's a great deal, if it's got a messed up VIN tag, it's not a great deal. Just be careful out there. I don't want to see anybody get burnt. And that's your tip of the day from Phil at Race City Retro. Okay, so what did you guys think? Are you digging on the new 55 Chevy Project car? Did I get a good car? Did I get a good deal? Watch the end of this video. I'm going to tell you exactly what I paid for this car, and then you guys can decide if I got a good deal or not. I also mentioned in this video that we're going to be putting some control arms on the front of this car. I got a Speedway Motors kit, which consists of tubular upper control arms, tubular lower control arms, QA1 coil over shocks. So we're going to change the suspension from coil spring to coil over. It also comes with a sway bar. So I'm not building a pro touring machine. I just want the car to handle better, stop better. We'll explain that too as I go through these parts. I'll tell you the benefits of tubular control arm. Is that me? Wow, I look old. Working on cars ages you. Would you believe I'm only 40? All right, so I got my first box and I got my knife. Let's cut some boxes open. And always be careful when you're doing this, because a lot of times these guys will pack these boxes to the very top. You can go and scratch your brand new control arms. Always give it a lift, pop the end, and then muscle into it. First thing I like to do is look for the sticker, because that's the most important thing in the whole box. Let's slide that over. Packed very nicely, Speedway Motors. Looks good. All right, so these are the uppers. Let's take a closer look at them. And one of the things that makes a major difference in how your car handles is the addition of tubular control arms, because your factory control arms on a Tri-5 are stamped steel. These are made from what's called drawn over mandrel, DOM steel, which is a very strong process. The steel is smooth welded, the tubes, it's stretched over a mandrel, it gives it an equal diameter inside and out. There we go. Nice weld so far, things I notice. Looks really good on the welds. These have removable ball joints for future servicing. They have Delrin bushings and polyurethane on the stops. The Delrin, quieter than polyurethane. You don't get squeaks or anything. Polyurethane has to be greased almost every month, it seems like. Polyurethane's good for sway bars and stuff like that, but when you put polyurethane bushings in a control arm, you get a lot of squeaks. It's got the grease fittings, the Zerk fittings. Nice piece. Impressed. It's already greased. We've got to snap this back in once we put it into place. And then we'll re-grease them again. But I do like that, easily removed. The original ball joints on these cars are pop riveted in. If you have a Tri-5 Chevy with pop rivets in your ball joints, it means they've never been changed. Once you see bolts in them, that means the pop rivets were drilled out and they were changed. But that's a good looking piece. All right, let's dig into the bottoms. Okay, here come the lowers. Nice and careful box cutting procedure. Like I said, you don't want to stick this thing in and nope. Lift. Look, that one's breaking on its own. All right, so here are the lowers. Once again, packed very nicely. I love to see that. So many places are getting very cheap with the packaging materials. I can't tell you how many things I received damaged. Whoa. You know, these are the lowers. So this is going to be a lot bigger and heavier of an arm. And yes, these arms will weigh more than your stock arms. So if you're a drag racer that's trying to get it down to every last ounce, this may not be the route for you. But this car is not a race car. It's going to be a street car. I just want it to handle better than it does now. These cars tend to wander a little. Wow. Super, super nice. Let me push this out of the way. Let's talk about this one a little. Now, what Speedway's done with this is you don't have to get the kit with the coilovers. You could still run your coil springs. See how it's got the pocket with the urethane bushing? And they do it two ways. If you take this bushing out and put your spring direct, it lowers your car an inch right off the bat. This also has the bolted-in ball joints, which are really nice. And it's got your sway bar brackets, or should I say anti-sway bar. Why does everybody call it a sway bar? It doesn't make the car sway. It makes the car not sway. Really nice looking pieces. Good welds. Very nice. Black powder coated. Cool. All the hardware's there right down to the cotter pins, Zerk fittings, the grease, the Delrin bushings. Really, really nice. Not building a show car, but you know, these are impressive when you see them. I like that. Looks good. That needs a little adjusting. There you go. And like I said, you could run the coilovers or you can run your stock coil springs with shocks. It's set up already that way. Nice piece. Speaking of shocks, speaking of coilovers, let's take a look at those next. Okay, so here they are in the Speedway box. This is a little different box. Now what Speedway gives you when you buy this kit, it's a QA1 18-way adjustable. They come with 450-pound springs, which should be fine for a small block, probably most LS motors. But if you got a big block in your car, you're probably going to want to go up to a heavier spring. Ooh. Go drive it. Now, those are your plates that go in the bottom that set it up for the coilovers. If you were running springs and shocks, you would leave those things just the way I showed them to you. This is for the coilovers. Coilover number 2. And always make it a habit to inspect your parts right away. Paperwork. What's that with the rest of my stuff? Because if you miss something, if something came incomplete, a lot of times people will return stuff and it just gets put right back on the shelf and it may be missing something. You know, speed parts aren't cheap nowadays. Make sure you're getting everything you paid for. And you're buying brand new speed parts, make sure they come brand new. Here are the springs. Now you can option these out, like I said, to, I believe Speedway also offers a 550 spring. Oh man, cut myself. But very nice QA1 pieces. I'll take a look at the shocks too. Let's make sure we got both the springs in there. Yep. No sticker. Still no sticker. Come on, Speedway. It's the most important thing. And now it's funny, you don't even get 2 stickers anymore. Now they give you 1. I worked at a speed shop when I was a teenager, and my boss always told me, when they buy a lot of parts, you always give them 2 stickers, because if you give them 1 sticker, they put it on the toolbox. If you give them 2 stickers, they put them on the car. Look at these. Oh, thanks, QA1. Oh, man. Very, very nice. Can't wait to put those in. Is there anything better than opening brand new speed parts? I don't think so. All right, so that's our coilovers. The last part of this kit is the anti-sway bar. It's not going to make it sway. It's going to make it not sway. Let's get on to that. Oh, QA1 decals. Nice. The biggest box in the bunch, the sway bar. It's got those copper stapley things in it. Let's just cut this end open. There we go. Oh, nice. There we go. I'm gonna get cut soon. Here we go. All right. Okay. And the nice thing about this sway bar is those control arms already have the tabs, which are going to make the end links real easy to hook up. They give you urethane end links, which are nice. There's your hardware. There's your sway bar. Nice piece. Looks like a glossy black color, maybe. Yep. Good looking piece, heavy. Tell it's well made. Okay, let's look at what comes in the hardware box. Put this down over here. And there you go. And like I said, make sure you got everything. There's our brackets to mount it to the chassis. Have these other brackets to mount it. Two end links. Looks good. Nice job, Speedway Motors. I've been dealing with them for years. Love their stuff. Great stuff at a great price. That should be the next question you're gonna ask me. This kit here, for everything I just showed you, goes for $1,328 on their website, which to me, that's a great deal. Okay, so there you have it. I just checked in all our parts, our Speedway front end kit. Everything looks great. I cannot wait to put this on the car. In our next video, I'm going to pull the front end sheet metal, expose everything to make the installation of this stuff really simple. I also have to do a few other things under the hood there, which will make all that stuff really simple. So what do you think? Did I get a good deal? Oh, wait, I didn't even tell you. Here's what I paid for this car. I paid $6,500. I woke up one morning, Facebook Marketplace, poof, there it was. I live in North Carolina. It was in Shelbyville, Indiana. So I called the gentleman, great guy, we spoke, glad to sell it to me. I sent him a deposit, ran and got a trailer, was there the next morning picking the car up. These cars, the prices are all over the place. You'll see cars in that range. You'll see cars $10,000, $15,000, $25,000. Get what you can afford. Make sure the VIN number is good on the car first and foremost. Make sure it's got a title or whatever papers you need. Chasing that stuff down on these 70-year-old cars can sometimes be a nightmare. Depends upon your state. You don't want to buy a car you can't put on the road unless you're building a drag car. If you're building a drag car, it's just going to see the track. That's something different. I'm happy. I'm more than happy with it. I know it's not perfect. At that price, it's not going to be. But it's a good car with good bones, a good starting point to do some really cool stuff too quickly. I don't have to do any major stuff, full floor pans, trunk pan. That stuff takes time, takes a lot of money. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Get yourself a project car that you can afford and that you think is within your skill set, or You could learn to fix. Don't get nothing too crazy. Make sure you have a place to work on it too. It's hard working on cars in the driveway in the winter, in the summer, in the rain. So if you got a shelter, or you can rent a storage unit, or somebody's got a garage, can give you some room in the back, that'd be great. All right. So please, first off, thanks for being here, guys. Great to have you, man. Check out our website, raycityretro.com. You will not be sad you went there. You're going to wind up buying something. There's too much cool stuff there not to. Hit like, because we're new. We need likes. We need subscribers. If you hit the notifications, you'll get all our future videos, and I'm going to put out a lot of videos. I want every part of this build. I've never done this in my life where I've documented an entire build on video, taking pictures, but this is a different world we live in now. It's going to be great when this car's done, that I can go back and look at it every step of the way. And like I said, it's going to be fast. This is not going to be no 10-year project. This car's going to be done in a few months. You'll see. I work quickly. But once again, thank you for tuning in. And like, subscribe us, check out our website. Can't wait to see you guys again. Take care. Go out and do something today. Build something. Make something cool.